G'day and welcome to Line War. I'm giving myself a disadvantage of 0.25. The AI is 1, meaning I start off with a quarter of the resources the AI starts off with. Now I start off a lot weaker than the AI, so I want to be the furthest away that I can. I know that they'll probably start on that main island to the left, so I go on the far right. There is also the city to the south, and I don't want anybody starting there, so I select it next. I was a little worried about where Red was starting. If they started near that city in the middle, they could attack me early on and push me back very easily. I knew I could win the game if I developed my economy quickly, so I started to capture this entire island. Built a shipyard instead of the town so that I could transport my troops over and capture more territory. I thought it was highly likely that I'd come into contact with Red just above where I landed. I started building up more troops and pushed them south to capture more territory. 17 minutes in, and I was starting to build up a strong economy, still with not enough troops though. It was also lucky that I didn't come into contact with any of the enemy, which probably meant that the AIs were fighting each other and making themselves weaker. My entire plan was like being a tidal wave, starting off small, and then over time getting stronger and stronger, and then just wiping them all out. At this point I was a little confused how I hadn't come into contact with the enemy yet. So I built an airport just in case. Finally got into contact with Delta Team. They didn't have many resources there, so I managed to push them back and capture that entire part. With Bravo Team gone, it was now a 1v1. My main worry down south were boats going back and attacking my ports, which could lose me a lot of income if they were successful. With Red dead, I knew I had to push everywhere. It didn't look like they had many troops there, so I thought I was just in time. The only thing I was too worried about was boats coming back and attacking my economy. Push more troops forward to take out the boats. If they got through, they could do a lot of damage to my economy. It took a while, but I managed to push back their fleet. Like in the main fight, I was pushing them back, slowly. I knew I needed to capture this, because otherwise they could just build up their economy and crush me. Build a lot of aircraft in the middle of the map. I knew this could help me with an invasion of the next island. I kept pushing them back. Somehow I missed that they had gone to this middle island, so I went for a bombing attack. I set up a defensive perimeter here because they kept sending airplanes and boats at me. I didn't build much anti-air, so I needed to get some over there quickly. Had enough air power to start attacking their main area. But I didn't have enough energy to sustain this kind of attack. I launched an invasion of the above island. If I could capture this, I could hold the strait and split the enemy from getting behind me, so I could focus on a full-on attack. Finally managed to pull some air defense over to this area. If I could push their air force back, I could pretty much control this side of the map. This might be a stupid strategy, but I kept giving them this peninsula and taking it back, so I could destroy their air force, and waste their resources. Up north, I was slowly pushing them back. In the middle, I needed to reorganize my troops. Down south, I'd finally got enough air defense down there to be able to actually defend it without getting completely killed. I'd finally captured the northern island, so I pushed my boats down and started attacking their main island. This was really only a diversion tactic though. I knew I needed to capture the south of the island if I really wanted to win. To be able to push in the south, I needed to degrade their defences. So I prepared a massive aerial bombardment. I launched a huge aerial attack, hoping to take out most of their air force and even hopefully some of their troops. If I can do this, I'll be able to get control of the channel, meaning a naval invasion will actually be possible. Sometimes when you have overwhelming air superiority, the AI goes all in on anti-air. I don't even need to take all these troops out. Just them sending all their troops up there actually helps me and probably weakens their economy. In the very north, I checked if I could invade this northern island, but they had too many troops, and I did not have enough resources to challenge them up there. After a few minutes of recovering my energy resources, this attack degraded their air force even more. With my nuke in the south, I take out all their barracks. I managed to take control of basically this entire southern peninsula, just through aerial control. One thing in this game that I know is aerial supremacy is always required for a naval invasion. Up at the Straits, I'm getting pushed back, but I'm preparing a nuke. If I can launch a nuke at them before I invade, I can hopefully take out most of that force. While I'm taking out their boats, I hear a sound that you never want to hear. Not even close. If they launched that 10 minutes ago, they probably would have got through. I wanted to launch this invasion, but I just did not have the boats to be able to transport the troops over. I also wanted this nuke ready. I was finally ready to launch the invasion. I started off with an aerial attack. Finally, with troops on the ground, I pushed them south to take out the naval yards. My nuke was finally ready. This is probably most of their forces, because they pause their production when they get too many. In retaliation from my nuke, they send a nuke right at me. Not even close. I launched another invasion at that same point. Back down south, they had a massive naval fleet. The easiest way to defeat this was a huge aerial bombardment. With a small stream of troops coming in, I built a defensive line. After taking out their fleet, I finally got to their naval bases and took them out. I finally started pushing them back. I got to their main base. I also set up a naval yard where they had theirs, so I could invade the final island. The game pretty much done, I decided to blow up all my air force. The first guy that got there escaped, the rest of them got there too late. I finally pushed them back to their last stronghold. Here are the results. If you look at the chart, you'll see I start right at the bottom at the very start. And then over time, I slowly outscale the enemy. Me and Delta Team were equal for a bit. Thank you for watching to the end. Please like and sub.